Welcome to today's Explainer. Go ahead and get cozy because we are going to dive into a truly heartwarming, science-backed story about humanity's best friend. We're unpacking the fascinating reality behind dog intuition. By the end of this, you're going to see exactly why that furry friend sleeping at your feet right now is actually an everyday hero.
So picture this for a second. Have you ever noticed your dog instantly disliking someone they've never even met before? Like there's no barking at your usual friends, no growling at family members, but the second a certain stranger walks into the room, your dog is suddenly deeply suspicious. We usually just brush it off as a coincidence, right? Or maybe we jokingly wonder if they have some kind of supernatural ability to sense bad vibes. Well, it turns out it's not magic at all. It's actually a protective superpower rooted in some incredibly profound observation skills.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, Reading Our Hidden Signals, the Watchful Protector. There is this wildly cool piece of behavioral research that recently came out. Researchers discovered that dogs are closely, and I mean very closely, observing how people treat each other. In this one study, dog owners acted like they were struggling to open a container, and then they asked another person in the room for help. Some people helped out while others flat out refused. Well, get this. Later on, when those exact same people offered the dogs treats, the dogs actively rejected the food from the people who refused to help their owners. It completely proves that dogs are constantly evaluating human social behavior to protect their pack. And they aren't just judging our big, obvious actions either. They are absolute masters of reading our subtle body language. A person might appear perfectly normal, perfectly friendly to us, but a dog is processing nervous posture, unusual gestures, tiny facial expressions, and even really subtle shifts in tone of voice. They're basically expert observers, catching these tiny, invisible clues of stress or hostility that our own human brains completely overlook. Moving right along to Section 2, the scent of human feelings, the empathetic healer. Now, dogs don't just watch us. They actually experience the literal scent of human feelings. And to understand how, you have to look at this absolutely staggering number. A dog's sense of smell is estimated to be tens of thousands of times more powerful than ours. Just think about that for a second. Tens of thousands. It essentially means they experience the world in a completely different dimension than we do. They aren't just smelling the food you're cooking or the grass outside. They can actually smell the chemical changes happening inside our bodies. Imagine someone walking into a room. What we see is a smiling, seemingly happy face. But beneath that polite smile, that person might be terrified or anxious or really angry. Because our human bodies release different chemical compounds when we experience those strong emotions, what the dog smells is the actual truth. They can literally smell the invisible emotional distress hiding right beneath a fake smile. Which brings us to Section 3, Sniffing Out Hidden Illnesses, the Lifesaver. This incredible sense of smell leads to their most awe-inspiring role of all. To understand how they do this, we need to talk about something called odor signatures. Basically, these are unique chemical changes released by the human body when an illness occurs. Long before any fancy medical equipment can pick up a problem, or honestly, before a person even feels their first symptom, the body starts emitting these tiny chemical changes into the air around them. It's so precise that dogs have actually been documented and are actively trained to detect an incredible range of hidden conditions. We're talking about certain cancers, low blood sugar in diabetics, the onset of seizures, and even dangerous blood pressure changes. I mean, it really emphasizes the sheer magnitude of a dog's heroic ability, doesn't it? They can literally alert us before the doctors even know something is wrong. Actually, there are documented cases of diabetic alert dogs who will vigilantly stay awake while their owners are sleeping. Just by smelling the air in the bedroom, they can detect dangerously low blood sugar levels and will actively wake their owners up in the middle of the night. In so many cases, these mornings have literally saved lives. They are quite literally our quiet, fuzzy guardians in the dark. Let's look at Section 4, Comforting Our Deepest Sadness, the Loyal Friend. Stepping away from their medical marvels for a moment, let's talk about their emotional superpower. Think back to a time when you were just completely overwhelmed. Maybe you were even crying, and your dog quietly came over and just rested their head beside you. That comforting moment, that is not just in your imagination. Over thousands of years of living right alongside us, dogs have evolved to be exceptionally skilled at understanding humans. They seamlessly distinguish happy faces from angry ones, and they can easily tell the difference between the vocal cues of human laughter and crying. They know exactly when we are distressed, and they know exactly when we need a loyal friend to lean on. This quote really hits the nail on the head. In a sense, dogs have become experts in reading human feelings. It sums up their empathetic magic perfectly. Look, they might not understand the complex, messy human reasons why you had a terrible day at work or why your heart is broken. But the beautiful thing is, they don't need to. They know that you're sad, and they know that you need comfort. All right, Section 5, Predicting the Invisible Future, the Watchful Oracle. You've probably seen this happen. Have you ever noticed your dog pacing by the front door right before someone gets home? Or getting super restless long before a thunderstorm hits? It really looks like they are predicting the future, but it's actually just extraordinary perception. Hours before a storm arrives, a dog's sensitivity allows them to detect tiny drops in air pressure, vibrations in the ground, and changes in the way the air smells. Minutes before, their incredibly sharp hearing picks up distant thunder or the familiar hum of a family member's car engine from way down the road. By the time the event actually happens for us, they've already known it was coming for quite a while. So when we pull back and look at all of these amazing abilities together, their intense observation skills, that 10,000 times stronger sense of smell, their deep emotional empathy, and their environmental awareness, it paints such a beautiful picture. It's not magic. A dog's intuition is really just their profound, scientifically backed, and ancient connection to us. It is absolute proof of why they have so deeply earned the title of humanity's best friend. And that brings us to a final, thought-provoking question I want to leave you with today. Has your dog ever reacted strangely to someone or maybe a specific situation, and it later turned out they were totally right? Take a moment today to appreciate that watchful protector, that empathetic healer, and the everyday hero sitting